Hello, hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So again, if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So as I did currently do my preview yesterday, as you all caught up with that, more things is currently updated. So Manchester United got a big game coming up tomorrow, going away to the Emirates Stadium, 4:30 kickoff. As I said, whilst I'm on this video, I am going to give my predictions for the game as well. So this game could be this game is obviously, both teams currently battling for the top four. Of course, this could be crucial from our point of view of our top four ambitions, of course, as well. So potentially both teams are going for the top four. I don't think initially it will decide who finishes in the top four, by the end of the season, because obviously there's still quite a lot of games to go. So as it does stand at the moment, we are 1 point ahead of Arsenal as it stands at the moment. And if Manchester United are to win, we would go 4 points ahead of them. If Arsenal were to win, they would go 2 points ahead of us as well. So it is the battle for the top four, as I said. But some good news coming out from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference. He has confirmed in relation to Anthony Martial and Herrera, and also to Nemanja Matic. He did say, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that they all could be involved in the game as well, which is very, very good news. He's also said in relation to Eric Bailly, who suffered like a slight knock against PSG. This is why basically he had to come off, because obviously he was playing in an unnatural position. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did basically say he's okay as well, because we know in relation to Anthony Martial and all that how good he has been as a Manchester United player. When he has been fully fit, and especially since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming, his performances have been very, very good on that left hand side as Anthony Martial. He creates that width, shows the ability to attack, score goals and all that does Anthony Martial. So he's just recently had a groin injury, but I think it's likely he's going to be involved, which is very, very good news. So I doubt he'll probably be playing on that left hand side. As he did say in relation to Nemanja Matic as well, which is very, very good news, he could be involved as well. Whether any of them start or not, I do not know, but at least they should be named on the bench if any of them, of course, don't start. But in relation to Matic, I think, again, he's been out with a muscle injury as Nemanja Matic, of course, but I do really, really like Nemanja Matic, even though I think he's very, very slow. I've got strong reservations about him and all that, but as I did say, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, his form's been rejuvenated, he's galloping forward more, he's looking more effective in his passing, his distribution's improved as well, even though he's aging up, but he's really, really improved, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has took the reins at Manchester United. In relation to Ander Herrera as well, we know that he's had a hamstring injury. It did initially say it was unknown when he was going to be back into the team, but according to the media, Solskjaer himself confirmed Herrera could be involved as well. And Ander Herrera is a very, very good player, and as I did say, I think he's always been a consistent player, for Manchester United, since we did get him in 2014. This is his fifth season now at Manchester United, of course, is Ander Herrera's, of course, but since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, as I did say, his performances have really, really improved. He's playing more regularly in the team, and I think he's complementing that midfield fantastic well. And hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement of getting Ander Herrera a new contract at Manchester United as well, because he does deserve it, based on his fantastic performances. So that's really, really good news as well. Of course, Paul Pogba has had all week. He's had a rest all week as well, because he currently didn't play midweek against Paris Saint-Germain, because obviously, Paul Pogba was suspended as well. I should imagine Paul Pogba should be playing in that number 10 position, because that's where he looks more effective. Even though you can put him you can put him in the number 6, but I think Pogba looks more effective, in the number 10 role, because he provides good service to the front men. He plays them delicate passes through and all that. His timing of his runs are fantastic in that position, and I think he just looks more effective in that position, to be quite honest with you, as Paul Pogba. And he has been one of our most influential players as Paul Pogba, scoring goals, providing, as I did say, providing good service, to the front men and all that as well. And when he's playing in this kind of vein, he's a player that can be on at least 14 to 15 goals a season. Now he is starting to replicate the form that he did showed at Juventus for like 3 or 4 years as well, because he was fantastic at Juventus, was Paul Pogba as well. And obviously we paid £89 million for him. Didn't get the best out of him out of Mourinho, of course, because obviously the players weren't playing under Mourinho, including Paul Pogba. But as I did currently say, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming, Paul Pogba's form has been rejuvenated, fantastically well. So he's going to be starting in the game as well, which is very, very good news. But we've got great confidence, going into this game on Sunday against Arsenal, to be quite honest with you, after having a fantastic win against PSG midweek as well, overcoming, a 2-goal deficit as well. And Manchester United had 10 first team players out on Wednesday night against Paris Saint-Germain, but it was a really, really good comeback. It was a miraculous comeback as well. It was an extraordinary win against PSG, because they seldom lose at Paris Saint-Germain. Of course, that was our first win in knockout stages away from home since 2011, and that was was actually against Schalke as well. So we had a lot of inexperienced players, playing in that team on Wednesday night against PSG. As I currently said, it was good to see Mason Greenwood come on and make his debut. It was also good to see, Chong come on in the game as well. And the majority of the game was on the back foot, because PSG had a lot of the ball. It was exploiting his left to right, especially in that first half as well. But yeah, it was good to see, Lukaku was in great form, as I said, and I think Solskjaer's going to be starting Lukaku alongside Rashford for this game against Arsenal, because in the last couple of games, Lukaku and Rashford have been playing together, and Lukaku, to be quite fair, even though initially it did say before he's lost his place in the starting 11, he's been in absolutely fantastic form as Romelu Lukaku. He's scored 6 goals in 3 games now as Romelu Lukaku, which is very good indeed. So he's in great form, and since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming, his form has been rejuvenated. Romelu Lukaku, as everyone says, he's slow, and everyone's got a lot of strong reservations about him, and we know there's still been speculation of Lukaku leaving Manchester United in the summer, of course, and if Man United do decide to sell him in the summer, he's indicated that he does prefer the move to Juventus, does Romelu Lukaku, if basically, Manchester United, do decide to sell him in the summer. And we'll obviously be looking to recruit that initial £75 million, we currently paid for Romelu Lukaku, as I said, but he's been in great form, so I do think he'll be starting Lukaku alongside Rashford against Arsenal as well. Rashford, of course, again, his form's been rejuvenated in it all, him scoring the decisive penalty against Saint-Germain as well. But yeah, it's really good news. Manchester United, making history in the Champions League. Now Solskjaer as Manchester United manager, that's one of his most iconic moments of the actual club's history. But 20 years ago, obviously, as a player, Solskjaer, one of his most iconic moments, was in the Champions League, back in 1999 as well. But yeah, Rashford scored the decisive penalty, as I said, and Rashford again, since Solskjaer's coming, he's been playing a key role as Marcus Rashford. He's been leading the lines fantastically well, and he's been in United play since the age of 7, and he's progressing up the ranks fantastically well. He's been in the senior squad with us, since 2016, as well as Marcus Rashford, and I've been very impressed with his performance, as I said, and hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement of getting him a new 6-year contract at Manchester United. Would take him to the age of 27, would take him under contract till 2025 as well. But everything's improved. His finishing's improved. He's scoring more goals and all that. Is Marcus Rashford as well. But I've been very impressed with Romelu Lukaku, and overall he can score. He can still be a player that can be on 15-20 goals a season at least. Even though I've got strong reservations about him. Even maybe more than 15-20 goals a season, because he's well Premier League proven. He has got a good pedigree in the Premier League as Romelu Lukaku, so he will be in contention to play against Arsenal as well. Of course, we've got other players that are injured as well, and we know Sanchez of course is out for 4 to 6 weeks, as that has officially confirmed as well. Alexis Sanchez is out for 4 to 6 weeks. He suffered knee. He's got a knee injury as Alexis Sanchez. Quite honest, I think Manchester United are going to consider getting rid of Alexis Sanchez in the summer, to be quite honest, because he's failed to make an impact as Sanchez hasn't fitted under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's system. He hasn't fitted under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's system. He's been here just over the year, suffered quite a few injuries, lacked goals and all that. I think Solskjaer himself has lost faith in him. He's lost trust with him, and I do think he'll end up losing that number 7 shirt. To be quite honest with Alexis Sanchez, I think someone else will probably fulfill that number 7 shirt. Maybe even Martial could get that number 7, even though initially I think he's a number 11. Is Anthony Martial as well. So I think he's probably on his way out of the club in the summer, because he's nowhere near the player he was at Arsenal. Alexis Sanchez. In relation to Juan Mata as well, of course, he's still out with a hamstring injury as well. I don't know how initially how long he's out for, but he's going to miss the game tomorrow. Is Juan Mata, and we know mainly anywhere he hasn't been first choice as Juan Mata, mainly because when Lingard's been fully fit, Lingard has obviously been preferred choice over Juan Mata, because Lingard can provide pace. Juan Mata's lost that. That yard of pace, to be quite honest, because Juan Mata's aging up now, and Lingard's still young in his generation. Is Lingard 25, 26 years of age? If I'm correct, I think he is back in training as Jesse Lingard, but his name didn't get mentioned that he could be involved in this game against Arsenal, so he probably won't be involved, Jesse Lingard. But of course he's had a hamstring injury as well, and obviously Juan Mata's had a hamstring injury as well, so I don't know when Juan Mata is going to be back, but overall still a very consistent player for Manchester United. Juan Mata, of course, he's been here. This is his 5th season now at Manchester United. He's been in the Premier League a lot of years now, and he's won everything apart from the Premier League. As I said, but he's still a very consistent player. He's Juan Mata, but of course, he's still out as well. And of course, we've obviously still got Valencia still injured. Obviously, Valencia's got a calf injury. I think he initially said he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. I think he's one of the likely players that will definitely leave Manchester United in the summer. Of course, because we've opted against that decision to give him that new 1-year contract contract extension. So I think he's on his way out of the club in the summer, even though he has been essential over the years. He's been here since 2009, so he has been here since the Alex Ferguson era. So this is now his 10th season in the process with Manchester United. Of course, he's won everything here domestically, and of course, he's made over 300 appearances as Antonio Valencia, but I think he's on his way out of the club. I think Man Utd himself, I think he's back in training, but I do think he's on his way out of the club as well in the summer. Reports have been coming out saying that Inter Milan have been interested in him as well, and he's enjoyed a difficult time at Manchester United, as Matteo Darmian, since we got him in 2015, because he spent the entirety of his playing career, in Italy, I think, before he came to Manchester United, of course, as well, Matteo Darmian. So I think he would probably, go back to Italy with Matteo Darmian as well. But yeah, as I did currently say, guys, we're in a good run of form at the moment, going into this Arsenal game. We've won 14 out of 17 in all competitions. We've only suffered one defeat, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in. We still remain unbeaten in the Premier League as well, which is very, very good. We've won 9 away from home in all competitions, so we're looking to continue our 100% winning record away from home up against Arsenal. So if we can beat Arsenal, that will be 10 away wins in all competitions, for Manchester United as well, which is very, very good indeed. At the moment, we've won 14 out of 17 in all competitions. I think there's been 39 goals scored in the process so far. We've won 9 away from home. I think we've won 10 in the league as well. So we are looking for our 10th. We are looking for our 10th away win. We're looking for our 11th league win as well against Arsenal. As I said, I'm really, really confident, going into the game, because obviously we're going to look stronger now with some players, coming back in. Martial coming back in, Matic coming back in, Herrera coming back in. Pogba's had a week's rest, so Pogba will be prepared for this game as well. But what's been coming out in relation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I do want to give you an update on, as I did give you an update yesterday, that it still hasn't been made official yet that he's going to be Manchester United manager on a full-time basis. As reports do currently say, coming out from the media, reportedly that it's saying that Solskjaer is closing on being Manchester United manager on a permanent basis, based on his fantastic progression so far, since he's come to the club. And I think he has restored the Manchester United way, he's brought the fear factor back to the club, and I think, he's following Alex Ferguson's philosophy, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said, as manager, he hasn't really proven himself in terms of winning like any major honours as a manager at the moment, but I do believe, he will start winning trophies as Manchester United manager, as I currently said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But reports have been coming out saying that I think he will, Manchester United is set to have contract negotiations with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer next week. I think Ed Woodward has scheduled a meeting. As reports do say, I think his contract is going to be a 4-year deal, as the media does report. So it's going to be a 4-year deal, I think, worth around £30 million. I think there's also bonuses included as well. His annual salary has already been mentioned. His annual salary is going to be around 7.5 million a year, or something like that. So this does significantly mean that Solskjaer is willing to accept a less wage package than what Jose Mourinho was on, because obviously Jose Mourinho was on 15 million per year. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be on around 7.5 million a year. So Solskjaer's happy to accept. Solskjaer's going to be getting half the wages than what currently Jose Mourinho was on as well. It is going to be a 4-year deal, £30 million. It does mention as well. It's worth 30 million. Plus there's bonuses involved as well. Probably to see if he wins any trophies wins any trophies at Manchester United role. But considering it is a huge pay rise for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, compared to what he was on, when he was at Mold, because he was on only like £400,000 a year, when he was at Mold as well. So in that scenario, he has been given a huge pay rise as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. But I think he's done more than enough now to get the job at Manchester United on a full-time basis. He's done really, really well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's got the team playing in the right vein, the right manner. The structure of the team's right as well. Also, we've got a board, that can invest, in who Solskjaer, wants to bring into the club in the summer as well. Because obviously we know investment is needed in the team, because we do expect departure as well. Reports did say a while back, reportedly we're going to get around 200 odd million pounds to spend in the summer as well, as the media does report. But Solskjaer's also confirmed with his contractual situation with his former club Molde, we currently manage. He did say that his current contract with Molde has expired. So he did say he thinks his current contract with Molde had currently expired, and this is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had currently said. And he did say initially, a couple of weeks before Solskjaer had came to Manchester United, he did say Molde had announced that he had agreed a new 3-year deal with Molde. Molde did say that he's still under contract with Molde until 2021 as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But Solskjaer's basically saying that you can't have 2 contracts. He's now saying that I'm under contract now at Man United, of course, as well. At the moment, United have obviously an additional fee. We've paid a fee of around 1.8 million to get him on a temporary basis, but obviously I think we'd have to pay some kind of compensation. We'd have to pay around 7 to mould compensation. Yeah, sorry about that internet going off. So yeah, it's going to be a 4-year deal. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be signed. So this might be officially announced in May sometime, as the media does explain as well. But I'm confident going into this Arsenal game, as I currently said, because obviously we want to get Champions League football for next season, of course, as well. So we can be more, obviously, we can progress more in the summer transfer window, as I said, and hopefully, we can win the Champions League as well. We've still got a chance of winning the Champions League. We've got a great chance of winning the FA Cup as well, because Solskjaer's progressed to the last day of the FA Cup, quarterfinals of the FA Cup. He's got us to the last day of the Champions League as well. He's also got us in the top four, and he's done an absolutely fantastic job as well. So hopefully, we can either win the Champions League and get automatic Champions, so we can automatically get in Champions League for next season, or hopefully, get in that top four and qualify for the Champions League for next season as well, which is always essential. From Arsenal's point of view, they want to do the similar sort of thing. They'll either want to progress in the Europa League so they can get automatic Champions League qualification for next season, or finish in the top four so they can get into the Champions League for next season, because they obviously know that investment is needed into their squad as well. Arsenal's investment is needed into their squad, but obviously, they suffered a bad defeat, midweek to Rennes. They lost 3-1 to Rennes in the Europa League. There's still a chance that Arsenal can overcome, that 2-goal deficit, against Rennes, because Rennes are sitting like 10th in the French league, are they? Or something like that. I don't really know much about Rennes, to be quite honest with you, but Arsenal did lose by 3-1, and that's the only chance Arsenal have got of winning any silverware this season, is obviously, winning that Europa League, of course. But they did lose to Rennes by 3-1. I think Socrates got sent off in that game. There was unlucky not to win last week against Tottenham. Arsenal. Obviously Lucas Torreira is suspended for this game as well. He got sent off last week for I think it was a high challenge, was it, on Danny Rose. Of course, Arsenal were very, very unlucky because they dominated the game. They looked good on the counter attack. They were composed on the ball very, very well. For the majority of that game, Arsenal played very, very well. I think, to be quite honest with you, Mustafi cost Arsenal that game last week. Obviously with that challenge on Harry Kane, even though there were talks that Harry Kane, was obviously in an offside position. Harry Kane was in an offside position, so Mustafi probably would have cost Arsenal in that game. Of course, Aubameyang also missed a penalty in the game as well. So basically, that cost Arsenal the points in that game as well. But to be quite fair, Arsenal have done very, very well at the Emirates Stadium this season. They've only lost one game at the Emirates Stadium They've only lost one game at the Emirates this season. They only lost one game at the Emirates this season in the Premier League at Arsenal, and that was to Manchester City at the beginning of the season as well. But of course, I'm confident, that Manchester United, can definitely, do this against Arsenal. It's always a big game, Arsenal, Manchester United. It's not as big as fixture, as it quite used to be, back in the day, when we had Alex Ferguson for 27 great years, when they had Arsene Wenger, for 22 years as well. That was when it was always a big fixture, Arsenal and Manchester United, of course, as well. But they've done very, very well at the Emirates this season. It's only Emirates this season as Arsenal manager, because he's done a good job. They went 22 games unbeaten, earlier on in the season as well. So there was in a good run of form with Arsenal as well. And, they have got some good players in that team. Obviously, they still know that investment is needed into their squad. I think Umremme got around 4 or 5 players last summer as well. But it's only his first season. So obviously, Umremme, still looking to rebuild into that Arsenal team, as I said. But yeah, so obviously, they have got a pretty decent squad. They've got Aubameyang, I think, is a really, really good player. He's been scoring goals well for them this season. He leads the lines fantastically well. He's going to be the danger man. Lacazette's a really, really good player as well. And when Umremme does decide to play Lacazette and Aubameyang, they're a very, very good partnership. They combine very, very well together. Do Aubameyang and Lacazette, in the Arsenal team as well. Of course, they've still got other good players as well. But they know Lucas Torreira is going to be a big miss for them as well, because he's been very, very good for Arsenal this season. Of what I've watched him anywhere. They've had quite a few injury problems this season as well. Of Arsenal, they've had quite a few injury problems. Obviously, they've still got Rob Holding out. He's out long-term absence. Welbeck's out long-term absence. Hector Bellerin's out long-term absence. Rob Holding's out long-term absence, said. And Welbeck is out as well. I think Steven Lichtsteiner has recently had an injury as well. And they've had other injury problems as well of Arsenal, as I said. But, we have actually, won our last 2 visits to the Emirates Stadium, beating them comfortably in the FA Cup earlier on in the season back in January. We beat Arsenal comfortably by 3-1 at the Emirates. Sanchez surprisingly scoring in that game against his former club. Also Lukaku providing 2 assists in that game. Lingard scoring, Martial scoring. in that game as well, and we beat them in this fixture last season in the Premier League as well. United, we won the game by 3 goals to 1, even though, well, Arsenal were terrible in the first 10 minutes. It was defensive mistakes from Arsenal in that game in the first 10 minutes, and then after that, Arsenal totally bossed that game. They must have had about 30 odd shots on goal or something like that. But yeah, Arsenal totally dominated that game, but we still won the game, by 3 goals to 1. Of course, we won the fixture at Old Trafford last season in the league 2-1 for Fellaini scoring the late winner. The game at Old Trafford this season was obviously 2-2 earlier on in the season as well. But yeah, Arsenal have obviously, they've got Aaron Ramsey in that team, who I think, when he still plays, he's still giving it 100%, for Arsenal, even though he's going in the summer. He's going to Juventus when his contract ends with Arsenal. He's signing a 4-year deal. He signed a 4-year deal with Juventus. He's going to be the second highest player behind Ronaldo in the Juventus team, and he's obviously going to be the highest British player player as well. And I think he'll fit into the Juventus team very, very well. Over the years, he's been a good servant for Arsenal. This is what, his 11th season now, is it, with Arsenal, something like that, because he officially joined them in 2008 as well. I think Arsenal paid an additional fee of £5 million for him from Cardiff, where he'd actually risen up the ranks, Aaron Ramsey as well. But he's won quite a few FA Cups with Arsenal. I think he's made over 300 odd appearances in all competitions. I think he's scored 60 goals, like 60 odd goals in all competitions as well. And he's a very, very good box-to-box midfielder, is Aaron Ramsey, as I said. But Arsenal probably, will miss Aaron Ramsey, as I said. Obviously, back in the January transfer window, they were only restricted to loan signings, so they couldn't make any permanent signings back in the January transfer window. Of course, their owners, they had the money. It's just that the owner, Stan Kroenke, investing into the club. He was taking money out of the club, and this is why Arsenal were only restricted to signings in the January transfer window. And they did get Denis Suarez. I haven't been watching much of. Sorry guys about that, gone off again. But yeah, I think Umar mainly sees, Denis Suarez as mainly as a winner, because previously, before, Denis Suarez had obviously, gone to Arsenal. He was obviously at Barcelona and all that. And previously, before, Umar had worked with him, when he was at Sevilla, Denis Suarez as well. But Umar, when he was PSG manager, he won a couple of trophies. When he was Sevilla manager, I think he won some Europa Leagues with Sevilla as well, did Umar. But if Arsenal are going to be potentially, challenging for trophies and all that, and they are going to be potentially title contenders for the new season, obviously their no investment is definitely needed into their squad without a shadow of a doubt. And recently Ozil has been getting in the Arsenal team as more recent, because for the majority of this season, since Umar has been manager, he struggled to really get in the team. Umar has constantly dropped Mesut Ozil, as I said. And obviously there were rumours in the January transfer window that Arsenal were considering getting rid of Mesut Ozil. Reportedly Umar basically made it clear that he wanted to sell him for Arsenal to currently raise some funds. But Ozil did say, I don't want to leave Arsenal. I want to remain loyal to Arsenal. I think Ozil, loves the club, to be quite honest. Even though the majority of this season he's been constantly dropped, he's suffered a couple of injuries as well as Ozil. Arsenal still know how much of an essential player he is to their squad. Of course, he's Arsenal's highest player. He's on £350,000 a week, of course, as well. But he has got a good pedigree, throughout his playing career. He has won trophies, won a few trophies with Arsenal. He won trophies at Real Madrid as well when he was at Madrid. I don't know if he won out of Werder Bremen or Schalke. I can't really remember, because that's obviously, when Mesut Ozil was obviously younger as well. But Arsenal still now much of an essential player. He's aging up. He is aged now, 30 years of age, is Mesut Ozil as well. But yeah, it's going to be a really, really good game, as I said. It could be crucial, for our top four ambitions as well. But I don't think it will officially, decide who's going to finish in the top four by the end of the season, because there's still quite a few games to go as yet. But it will play a big part. As I said, I think Manchester United are going to win it, to be quite honest, because we're in a great run of form. Arsenal at the Emirates this season have done really, really well indeed. They've got a bad the defence is bad as well as Arsenal's, because they do concede a lot of goals as well. Away from home they've been pretty poor this season, but at home they've done really, really well this season in the league, because they've only had one defeat at home in the league this season. That was to Manchester City back at the beginning of the season. I think the other two games they've lost at the Emirates obviously was to Tottenham in the Cup. That was 2-0 to Tottenham, and to obviously us when we beat them 3-1 in the FA Cup as well. I think that's the only games they've lost at the Emirates in all competitions. So they've lost 2 at the Emirates in the Cup, and they've had 1 league defeat at the Emirates as well by Manchester City at the start of the season. So really, they've done well at the Emirates this season of Arsenal as well. It could go either way, to be quite honest, because obviously we've still got injuries. They've obviously, got a couple of injuries as well. Obviously, they've got Lucas Torreira, suspended for the game as well. But it will be an interesting game. But as I was saying in relation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think it will be officially made. It will be officially announced in May. Manchester United reportedly, Ed Woodward has obviously scheduled the meeting. Manchester United are going to have contract negotiations with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer next week. I think it's going to be on Monday. They're going to have contract negotiations with him. It's going to be a 4-year deal, as it does say. So this will take under contract till like what 2023 or something like that. It said it's going to be worth £30 million. This 4-year deal. His annual salary is going to be around 7.5 million, or something like that. As it does explain, he's going to be getting half the wages, that currently what Jose Mourinho was on, and of course he's getting a big pay rise, compared to what he was on at Mold, because he was only on what at Mold like £400,000 a year, and Manchester United is going to get 7.5 million, so that's like 7.5 million, isn't it? Or something like that. Obviously, we'll have to probably pay around £7-8 million to Mold anyway to get him on a full-time basis, because obviously we've paid 1.8 million at the moment, to get obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on a temporary basis at the moment as well. He has confirmed his contractual situation with his former club Mold. He said his contract term has expired, because Solskjaer said obviously he can't have two contracts as he did currently say. But Matt, as I did say, my prediction going into this game, I do think it'll be Manchester United win. I think Manchester United will probably win the game 2-1. I think I'm going to go with 2-1 Manchester United, of course. It's likely he'll go with Lukaku and Rashford up top as well. Did Solskjaer, as I did say earlier on in the video, that Matic could be involved. Martial's likely to be involved, and Ander Herrera is going to be involved as well. And I've been very, very impressed, and I like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as well, because obviously he's been giving the young players a chance as well. And when he came into Manchester United, did say, regardless of the injuries and all that, he was going to get the players to express themselves, get them enjoying playing football, give the young players a chance, give the fringe players a chance, and this is what Solskjaer has done. And I have been very, very impressed, in the last couple of games, with Andres Pereira. I think he's put good performances in as Andres Pereira. We've got Fred there. He's been okay. We still don't know. I don't know if he's a long-term solution, to be quite honest, because he hasn't really made an impact, since we got him last summer. Fred, as I said, McTominay, has done very, very well indeed, to be quite honest. So, to be quite fair, they've been very, very impressive indeed as well. They've been very, very impressive indeed as well. But good news is we're getting some players, that are coming back from injury as well. We know we've still got contract renewals to sort out as well. There's nothing much more as updated on the scenario of that as well. Of course, obviously we're making plans, to get some players into the summer as well, because obviously we do expect departures as well. And I've already given you an update on the transfer rumours that have been going on. Nothing much more is updated in the process, as I said. But yeah, as I did currently say, that's mainly everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel, guys. If you do, consider subscribing as always, and take care. God